Hello and welcome to the show. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, my name is Tavishima Ayede. I'm your host, a former lawyer turned business consultant, and what I do over here every day is I solve business problems. Now, today, the problem that we're going to be looking at is how to select your business idea because there are a couple of you who, at your current stage, you are okay, to put it politely. There are a couple of you who are at the ideation stage, meaning you're about to start your business journey and you haven't quite decided yet what it is that you want to do. Or you did something before, the thing didn't quite work out, and now you're currently thinking about what to do next. So there are some of you who are at that stage in this business journey. Now, I must confess that when I started the podcast, and most of the time, I am talking to people, or rather, I'm trying to talk to people who already have a business concern going and they have run into some problems. So that I'm trying to help them sort it out. But that doesn't mean we're going to ignore our brothers and sisters who are new in the game or who are trying to, restart, revitalize, rebirth, whatever, relaunch into the game and haven't been able to figure out what it is that they are going to do next. And this was inspired by a conversation that I had with a listener of the podcast. And unfortunately, it's looking like, let me scroll through the message. So I have the message right in front of me. Okay, I didn't even ask the guy his name, Sha. Wow. Okay, that's a pity. Anyway, the guy's number ends in 3561. So if you're listening to the podcast right now, you suspect it sounds like this is a conversation that you had with me over WhatsApp. Your number ends with 3651. Then I'm responding to you, and this podcast episode was inspired by our conversation. And of course, I'm going to share the podcast episode with you anyway. So, all right, cool. Then, if you want to get in touch with me, just like this listener did, then you can call me, send me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080 And if you don't have the time every single day to listen to the longer podcast episodes, that's not a problem. What you do is you send me a message on WhatsApp and I will add you to the WhatsApp group. On the WhatsApp group, the chief benefit is I put PDF summaries there, 5 pages max, so you can read it in between 3 to 5 minutes, and you get the summary of every single thing that we discuss, that we talk about over on the podcast every single day. So back to this whole thing now of how to select your business idea. So let me run through the WhatsApp conversation that I had with this chap, and then I'll make some comments along the way. So the guy started off by saying, "Biggest morning, your teaching is powerful. I need help." Okay, I get that most of you need help, but one thing that you guys ought to understand is I do this as a business, not as a charity. So I respond to questions for people who reach out to the podcast, just as a matter of courtesy. And yeah, but I just want you to know that this is not a charity, it's a business. So anyway, I'll still go ahead because I want to make sure that I deliver value to as many people as possible. I want it to be that no matter who comes across my path, I want people to say that, oh, look, the time, even if it was just 2 minutes, 2 seconds, 2 hours, 2 months, 2 years, I want people to be able to say that that brief chunk of time was extremely valuable. And so Tavishima is worth it. So let's see. Okay, I noticed from Instagram, let's say Instagram, I noticed from his WhatsApp handle that he's a coach because a lot of us are using WhatsApp business. And so you put your name or your business name or something. So I could tell that he used to be a coach. And he said that he used to be, that's in the past, before, he was an affiliate marketer. After affiliate marketing, he started teaching people how to use AI to monetize YouTube. But he was very frank with me that right now, he said he's lost and he doesn't know what to do anymore because he has stopped teaching other people and he's trying to focus on himself. He's considering whether to sell physical products like wristwatches or whether to be an online agent for houses or lands. So honestly, he doesn't even know where to start. Now, for those of you who don't know some of the terms, affiliate marketing is just a setup where you sell on behalf of somebody and then you collect a commission. So let's say maybe next year or sometime in the future, I come up with a course, how to smash your sales goals in 6 months or something like that. I come up with a course. And let's say that course is available for 250,000 naira. And I decide to use affiliates to sell it. So what will happen is anybody, if you are an affiliate marketer, you can sell that course to your community members on my behalf. And then maybe out of that 250K, out of every 250K you sell, maybe your own cut is like 10K or something like that. So there are people who that's their line of business. They're affiliate marketers. They sell on behalf of somebody else, for a commission. So they're not collecting a fee upfront. So in Nigeria, I'm not sure if it's a very big thing, but in America, yeah, it's a very, very, very big thing. So all those names that you see, like Amy, what's her name? Amy, is it Porterfield or so? So Amy Porterfield, who again? All those people, them. Uh, so like at that level, yeah, they use lots of affiliate marketers. So other people selling their courses, selling their classes on their behalf, and then they collect a cut. So, this listener of the podcast, okay, let's just call him Biggie. Since I didn't ask his name, let's just call him Biggie because he started off by saying biggest good morning. So, we'll just call you Biggie. 36, that's the person whose number ends in 3651. I'm just going to call you Biggie, whether you're big or small. So, yeah, so that's what Biggie used to do as an affiliate marketer. Then he moved on to how to use AI, teaching courses about how to use AI to monetize YouTube, and now he's trying to focus on himself. Then, okay, Biggie, I must confess, when you said you want to act as an online agent to be selling houses, I'm kind of confused. Is it that you want to be a real estate agent and you're selling houses and lands? Abi, you want to set up a website that people can use to sell their own lands and houses on? So, like, I'm not quite sure. And by the way, this is one of the reasons why I keep telling you people that a phone conversation is the most effective medium to communicate. Because when you're having a phone conversation, you pick up on context and nuance a whole lot easier, and it's easy for people to ask questions very easily, to clarify. So you find that you pass across meaning very quickly. So this kind of confusion happens a lot when you're trying to pass across information in a text message format, whether it's SMS, whether it's WhatsApp, or whether it's email. Now, the problem is Biggie, when Biggie sent this message, Biggie knew exactly what he meant when he typed it. But me, that I'm digesting it, you can see that, I'm not digesting well. Like I've missed something. Something is lost in translation. So, this is the reason why I keep talking about on this podcast that there is a communications hierarchy. And so face to face is the most effective form of communication because you are there, live and in the flesh. You can see the person with your two kuro eye. You're looking at each other. If you're making sense, you can see it. If you're not making sense from the person's body language, you can tell that you're off point. Okay? From body language, from tone, from nuance, from gestures, you pick up on plenty. That's why it's the most effective form of communication. Then after that is voice. Because even though voice, you're going to miss out on body language, you'll be able to pick out on tone and nuance. You can, pick up on some emotional cues. Then, text are way at the bottom, but I'm not going to go into all that. But for text, just know that conversational media or conversational channels like WhatsApp is conversational. Telegram is conversational. SMS is kind of conversational. Those ones are a lot better than email because email is formal, official, and not conversational. So there's a communications hierarchy. So bear that in mind. Okay, now, my guy, Biggie, I got to be blunt with you, right? I've heard you and I sympathize. My brother, I really, really, really sympathize with you. But Biggie, this is the truth. A lot of times when we're all up in our fields like this and we're confused and, like your head is not settled, you get your head is hot and you're not quite sure, like, which way forward. The main problem is, honestly, is that you're not making sales, you don't know how to sell, and that is leading to all this unease and all these angst that you're going through. So you didn't learn how to sell before. So as an affiliate marketer, it's not as if you are making sales. I suspect like you are not really making sales. Then, how to teach people how to use AI to monetize on YouTube. I doubt you are making sales, and then you don't know what to do anymore. But the problem is, you now want to sell physical products like watches. But the thing is, in affiliate marketing, you didn't learn how to do sales. In AI coaching, you didn't learn how to do sales. Is it now that you're selling watches that you will be able to sell? So, Biggie, no vex. I'm not dragging you, but I'm just spitting the truth that lots of Nigerians don't want to hear. The problem is not the thing you're trying to do now. For lots of people, the problem is not the thing. Now, I've told people time and time again that if you put me in charge of a hospital, that hospital will crash. Because what do I know about medicine? What do I know about medical practice? Blah, blah, blah. So, in that case, where specialized knowledge is required to do something, yes, then the business itself might be the problem. Okay? So, if you want to take me and throw me into a construction context and expect me to thrive, it's not realistic. I got to learn the technical aspects of the game first before I can become good in some of these things. So if you remove areas like this where specialized knowledge is required and blah blah blah, you'll find that it's not the business idea that's the problem. The problem is that you don't know how to sell. So that's the reason why you'll be under stress as an affiliate marketer, you'll be under stress as an AI coach, and you'll be under stress if you sell watches, or you will be under stress if you decide to sell house and land. So Biggie, I get you. You don't know where to start. I'm feeling you, but the start honestly is my own opinion. Remain where you are, my brother. Remain where you are and just learn how to sell. If you have already started the watch business, good, no problem. But remain there in the watch and then learn how to sell. Sell watch. Learn it. If you learn how to sell and you start making progress as somebody who is selling watches, you make progress small, small, small. If you decide that okay, you know what, let me stop selling wristwatches and let me start selling let me be a wholesaler for spaghetti or for cement or whatever, you will carry over some transferable skills. The knowledge you've learned on how to sell, you will carry it from watches. It will apply well when you become a wholesaler for spaghetti or for cement. And then plus there's also that confidence boost, when you move from A to B but you succeeded at A, there's a way the confidence will carry when you're entering into B. But right now, you know quite make as an affiliate marker, you know quite make as an AI coach. If you enter watches, you know, the I don't know all the psychological terms, like the what will I say, like the spiritual momentum and be motivation, the gym is not there, you know. So stay where you are, learn how to sell, get your vim. When you get that, vim, like you are feeling sorry, the words are escaping me at the moment, but I'm sure you get what I'm trying to say. So stay where you are, learn how to sell. When you get that momentum and you decide to move, you see the difference. So, Biggie, the problem is you are not making sales. The solution is learn how to sell. You're new to the podcast. So, in other words, keep on listening because these are things that I talk about every single day over here on the podcast. So, let us say you do reverse, you enter into reverse gear and you go back to AI and how to monetize on YouTube. If you go back to that, all right, from listening to my podcast, you're picking up a few things, talking to colleagues, you're picking up a few things, and you learn how to sell AI coaching well on YouTube, and you make small money on that. If you decide to bounce and now do this online agent for houses and land, you can see how, you know, the thing will translate. After all, that's you've been selling AI training online. You can see that you'd have learned one or two things so that when it's now time to sell houses and lands online, you can see how you for don't learn some skills and you for don't get some kind of confidence that will help you. So please, my brothers and sisters, never you believe that the vehicle, I mean the business opportunity, never you believe that is the problem. If you're selling body spray and you're suffering in selling body spray, don't think that if you stop selling body spray and you start selling internet MiFi, that business will move. If you're selling internet MiFi and business is not moving, never you believe that if you stop selling internet MiFi and you start selling pharmaceuticals and medicine, that the business will move. If you're selling pharmaceuticals and medicine and the business is not moving, never you think that if you stop doing that and you decide to now start selling cars, then business will move. If you're selling cars and you're struggling, by the way, this one is real. I've had that conversation with somebody. If you're selling cars and you're struggling, never you believe that if you stop selling cars and you move into selling solar and CCTV, that business will take off. The problem is not pharmaceuticals, it's not body spray, it's not MiFi, it's not solar. The problem is that you don't know how to sell. So, my brother, dust yourself off, and wherever you are right now, just start learning how to sell. We'll start overcoming that problem. Then it's obvious that he doesn't know which business to start. Let us assume that okay, that AI monetizing on YouTube. Like, let's assume that he has come out, like he's out, he has removed his hands. Okay, no problem. The next thing now is what idea to start next. Although me, I will prefer that you make a U-turn to the ideas that you're already familiar with, affiliate marketing and AI monetization on YouTube, because you're already familiar with them small. So it'll be easier for you to gain traction on. Because any other thing that you need to move to now, there will be a learning curve. Learning curve just means, you will now start trying to learn one or two things. Just like me, if you put me in charge of a hospital, I will need to learn one or two things. How does a hospital work? How do you manage doctors? How do you purchase supplies? How do you purchase medicines? How do you manage like I will have to learn one or two things before I, come up to date, up to speed. So there will be a learning curve when you're moving. So biggie, my recommendation, go back. But if you say you will not go back, forward ever, backward never, no problem. The thing is now, how are we going to pick an idea that you can use to build a business out of? So I have a framework for that, and I made a podcast episode about it. I just can't remember the idea, but this one is an old podcast. So to be honest, to find it, I can't find it because we have over 1,500 podcast episodes up right now on Spotify or wherever it is that you're listening. So I have a framework on how to start a business in 3 easy steps, and the 3 easy steps. How will I put it? Anyway, I have a framework. So let me just continue as we're talking. I'll remember it. Sorry, some days you just wake up slow. So yeah, that's it. Anyway, so from the messages now, it's clear that this guy Biggie just discovered me. No, 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 no. So I asked him because I thought he was a long time listener. Because in the past, all the people who reach out to me are people who have usually been listening for months, maybe even years before they reach out. But I've noticed that those of you, like for the last like 2 months, people who reach out to me are people who just discovered me now, and well, it's not bad. Yeah. It's it's impressive. It's impressive, and anyway, continue. Those of you who are listening, continue. It's not a problem. But the thing is, the people who get the most benefit from this podcast are those who have been listening for longer. Because if you've been listening for longer and you've been exposed to a couple of things, when you now reach out to me, we can now have a much more profitable conversation. So there's somebody who is involved in the oil and gas space, and she's brand new, she's fresh on the job, but she has been listening to the podcast, for a while. So when we started the conversation, and I was like, "Oh, so you're already familiar with my ideas around how to create a proposal?" She said, "Yes, I already know." You see, we've covered some ground. The things I've been saying about this is how you build a proposal, she already knows. So therefore, now that we're having this conversation, we can move forward. We're moving forward from somewhere. If she called me on day one, she discovered the podcast today, she called me on day one today. The coaching session that we'll have today, go too fruitful because I'm going back to start teaching her too many things. So if you want to get the most benefits from this podcast, listen for a while. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, pick up a couple of things. When you call me, no problem. Well, first of all, listening for a couple of months or a couple of weeks, You will even know whether, look, I like this guy, I can work with this guy, or I can't work with this guy. Because for some people, I'm too much. For some people, I'm too informal. For some people, I'm too formal. For some people, I'm too fast. For some people, I'm too slow. Yeah, strange, are we? But really, you can't appeal to everybody. So just if you want to achieve benefit from this podcast, listen, get familiar with a couple of my ideas first, a couple of my frameworks. When you call me, good, we'll now make progress. We'll move quick because you've already covered some ground. So, Biggie, my own response, I'll say, listen for like 2 months first. After that, you can now send me a message and let's pick up from where you are. So, let's see. Anyway, so Biggie is trying to pick a hustle. Yes, so my brain has woken up. Now, my framework for starting a business in 3 easy steps. So, you see, this is one thing I advise my boys, because my older one in particular, he won't remember something and he'll not start getting frustrated. I'll say, relax. That these things happen. Relax. Just go and play games. Go and eat food or whatever. The thing will come back to you. When it comes back to you, you move. But if you stay here saying, I can't forget, oh, why can't I remember? Why? You just make yourself frustrated. So, yeah, my brain has woken up. So, the 3 step framework to start a business is number one, we got to select the idea. We need to select the right idea. Number two, we have to validate the idea. Validate just means, is this even a good idea for me to be staying here? Now, good idea in this context means, is it making money? Or can I make, how will I put it? Is it making money? And can I make money from this thing? Two separate questions. Okay? Because there are some things that you like it sounds like it's a good idea, but the thing is, nobody is making money. Anybody that has tried it before, everybody has died, everybody has failed. Like, no, the thing can't make money. Before you even get to the question of, can I even make money from this thing? So that two two separate issues. Okay? So we validate it by figuring out, is there a demand for this thing? All right, and then can I sell this thing? Then the final step is we build a selling system around it. So that's the 3 steps. Number one, select the idea. Select the idea just means we select the right idea. Now, the right idea is contextual. We've spoken about a couple of ideas today. None of them is good or bad per se. They can work or not work depending on who it is you're talking to, the person, their age, their skill set, their motivations, their interests, their drives, their desires, their environment, all kinds of things. Okay, so selling watches could be a good idea for some people, a bad idea for some people. Being a real estate agent could be a good idea for some people, could be a bad idea for some people. Selling body spray could be good or bad, depending on who you are. Selling MiFi could be a good idea, could be a bad idea, depending on who you are. Selling pharmaceuticals work very well for some people, absolutely horrible for some other people. Selling cars, fantastic for some kinds of people, absolute torture for other kinds of people. Selling CCTV might be a dream job, like a real dream job for some people, but then for some other people, it will be like going to hell. So, when we say select the right idea, what we mean really is the right idea for you. Now, there are different criteria that people have used over time to select the right idea. Some people go with passion. For me, I don't like this idea of passion, but some people go with passion. What do you like? I don't think that's a good idea because, to be honest, the thing that you like today, the reason why you love it is because there's no pressure. But when you start a business, there will be pressure. I repeat, if you like plaiting hair, you're a girl, you like to plait hair, it gives you joy. The reason why it is giving you joy now is because your friends say, "Oh, Amaka, are you free?" You say, "Yeah, sure, no problem. What do you want to do?" "I want to do 3 stepping." You plait 3 stepping for them. They look good, they look nice. The thing gives you joy. There is no pressure. The moment you start collecting money, the dynamic changes. "Amaka, are you free?" "Yeah, sure, no problem. I'm free. What do you want to do?" "I want to do 3 stepping." So, okay, no problem. 3 stepping. Right now, I'm charging 10K. And then your friend will be like, "What? 10K? That if I go to the market, they will do this thing for me, 2.5. In fact, in the market, I'll go and pay 2.5. 3 people will be plating my head. So I'll be done in 45 minutes. But this one, you alone, if I give you the 10K, I will sit inside this chair for 6 hours. Amaka, 10K for 3 stepping. You see now that money has now colored to something. You now start feeling somehow. Am I charging what I'm worth? I be my friends disrespect me, they don't value me, they whatever. Whatever joy you felt from making hair before, I can assure you, start doing it as a business. I promise you. If you're strong, I give you 1 year. The thing will stop giving you joy. The passion that you used to have will go. It will go. Doesn't matter what it is. Once you start charging for the thing, all this whole passion, blah blah, will fall by the wayside. The only advantage of passion is that when things get tough, if it's something that you've been loving before, you can still be pushing harder, pushing stronger. So like Biggie now, for instance, if he was passionate about any of those ideas, who knows, he might have been able to stay a little bit longer. Maybe he was being opportunistic. Okay, affiliate marketing. Let me try it. Affiliate marketing, they move. Okay. Oh, AI marketing. Let me try it. AI marketing, they move. But not particularly bound to any idea. So I guess if you want passion, it has its pros, it has its cons. So passion, what do you like? Then talent, what are you skilled at? For me, this is where I start getting excited. We start actually looking at what are you talented at, and let's put some discipline here and try and get this thing moving. And then effort. That's also another one I pay attention to. What are you already doing for free? There are some people who are already doing some things for free. So like this whole AI monetization, sorry, using AI to monetize on YouTube. There are already some guys that in your circle who do that for free. As in AI is just their thing. They listen to AI podcasts from morning to night. Their life is just AI. AI. If they could marry AI wife, they'll marry an AI wife today. Their life is just AI. So already they're talking to people for free. They're just doing it for free. Those kind of people, I'm like, hey, you know what? We actually can turn this thing into a business. Whether not passion, not talent, not hobby, not whatever. The thing is, you're already doing it for free anyway. Let's see if we can put some muscle behind this, and let's see if we can get some money from this. So there are lots of ideas that people consider, but these are some of the things. Sha. What's your passion? What's your talent? What's your effort? On and on and on. So, but like I said, I've made podcast episodes about this in the past. A three-step framework, three easy steps to start a business. I'll look for it, Sha. I'll look for it, but it'll be hard. So I told Biggie about it, and Biggie said, "Sure, no problem." Now he will have a look at it, and then we'll talk. I told him to listen to a couple more podcast episodes. I sent it to him, and then we were supposed to talk. And I told him send me a reminder. And in fact, it's because of Biggie and Josh from AGM Maritime, and then the other people within the last month, Sha. So it's because of them that I made that podcast episode about how to send reminders. Because they were all sending me, kindly notice, kindly remember, kind reminders, all those things that sounded kind of passive aggressive. So it's because of them that I made that. Then let's see what else. Okay, then Biggie was surprised that I give out my phone number publicly, and he's surprised that it's me. Yes, it is me. If we do talk on the phone, you will hear this voice. So I'm not an AI, and it's not my PA. All right. So yes, it is me. For now, eventually, I'm going to be a big boy and I'm going to hammer. When that happens, it will be my PA. But for now, yeah, it's me answering the phone. Then let's see what else. Okay, then just general talk, because he's also going through some church issues, so that's good. It's nice to know because you follow Jesus. That's where we're supposed to be. Once you're following Jesus, you're on the right path. So I salute you, Biggie. That's good. Then let's see what else. I think that was just it. Pretty much. Yeah, I think that was just it. So the rest of the message is just me making sure that he has actually listened to those podcast episodes that I told him to listen to, and he said, yeah, that he has, and yeah, I think that was just it. That was just it, pretty much. But for other people who want to reach out, when I give you assignments, please take the assignment seriously because, like I said, I'm a consultant. I do this for a fee. I have paying clients. So I collect money for this. I charge for this. And it doesn't matter who you are. If I'm talking to you, my goal is I'm trying to collect some money from you later in the future. Right? Might not be today. It might be next year. But believe me, I'll collect some money from your hand. Okay, well, the goal is I'm trying to collect some money from your hand. Okay? That's the goal. But don't worry, you can still reach out freely. It's not a problem. So if you have questions and I answer them for free, I'm just doing that as a courtesy. As per you listen to the podcast and we cool. We're homies. You're one of my people. But the thing is, if I give you assignments, you don't even take the time to do the assignment, I will not respond to your messages anymore. Because if I respond to you for free, I'm doing that as a courtesy. If you're not going to reciprocate that courtesy, then like what's the point? Sorry that I have to say this. It's just that some of you who reach out, some of you just take a piss. You reach out, you have a problem, I say, okay, what's up? And then we talk, and then I say, do this. And then you don't do it. And then 3 months later, you're trying to hit me up again. Like, you're trying to hit me up again for what? The first time I spoke to you, I told you what to do. You didn't do the thing. You're hitting me up again now because what? I won't respond. Oh, and then please, for those of you who have this automatic delete, automatic, you know, um, timer messages, disappearing messages, please turn that off. Because when you reach out to me, um, I can't store everybody's number. I already have too many contacts. Excuse me. So it is from the message history that I remember who you are, what we've discussed, and things like that. So if you reach out to me today, and then the default on your phone is disappearing messages after 7 days. So we discussed today, we have fruitful conversation today. Whether you pay me money or okay, well, anybody who pays me money, I store their phone number, no problem. But the thing is, even for people who pay me money and I've stored your phone number, after 7 days, the whole message history just rewipe like that. You do understand that you're putting us in a difficult situation. What exactly did we discuss? We'll have to start doing guesswork or I have to check my CRM. I can't put every single thing in CRM. That this is what we discussed on this day, on that. I can't put absolutely everything. So the message history serves as a memorandum, it serves as a guide. So even if you have automatic delete, whatever, after 7 days, 21 days for other people, when you're talking to me, when you're chatting to me, turn that thing off. That is the only way I'll be able to remember you. If I can't remember you, I can't provide value to you. Okay, so that's it. And if you want to get in touch with me just like Biggie did, then remember, it's not his real name. It's just that I'm surprised. I usually ask people their names. I'm surprised that we've been chatting like this. I didn't ask the guy's name. So if you want to get in touch with me just like Biggie did, you can call me, send me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080-6466-2140. If you want to get added to the WhatsApp group, just let me know. I'll send you the link and you can read the PDF summaries there. Then when you have more time, you come back over here and listen to longer podcast episodes. So thank you very much for your time and attention. I'll catch you all some other time. Let's see. What's today's date? Anyway, the weekend is almost here. So from here, Sha, have a wonderful weekend.